Okay, I think it's live. So let's do this one more time again from the beginning because it's Wednesday night and I want to make some quick doodles. I hope I hope this is okay. I'm late. I'm about 3 minutes late because there's a traffic jam. But okay, I think tonight I want to talk about museums and I want to talk about art exhibitions because um, I think it's something happening. Hello, Gina. How are you? Nice to read you. Nice to see you again. How are you? I want to talk about art exhibitions because it's something trendy. It's something quite trendy right now. And because it's at the same time some quick basic doodle, and I'm just committed to for once end uh, this sketchbook. So let's draw about art exhibitions, museums, and all that things related with art. Fine, Gina. Good news that read that you are okay. Mm, Tonight I want to draw about a very popular and trendy museum exhibition right now in Mexico City, and the way how there is new ways to show or to perform art exhibitions in today's world, and how the people the people are willing to see a different kind of art exhibitions on how the art itself it's taking different shapes at this time. And I want to talk about the 31 minutes art exhibition in the Franz Mayer Museum in Mexico City because it's relevant, it's popular, it's almost entirely sold out, and it's not the typical product, it's not the typical art piece that you expect to see at the museum, at any museum. So that's why I want to talk, I want to draw about that because something different is happening, and at the same time the dialogue, the way how the museum talk with their audiences, it's changing, and people are looking for something different. And there is an important, really interesting discourse between modern and contemporary art, and at the same time, sorry, how the classics are still being relevant at the museums, and how that kind of art exhibitions, the classic ones, the traditional ones, are at the same time um, carrying people to the booths, to the areas inside of the museums, But for me, this is something interesting to watch, interesting to live. I don't have I don't have tickets for the 31 minutes art exhibition. As I said, it's almost sold out. But it's interesting to understand or to discover why this is happening and how um, this cultural product from the TV is right now in one of the biggest and most important museums in the country, and how people are making huge lines, making queue to trying to get inside of this art exhibition because it's really relevant and it's popular and it's trendy and it's useful in a different way because it's something that it's probably welcomed in your Instagram account. It's a picture that you need, that you should have uh, in order to be trendy, to be popular. And it's interesting for me how this is happening and how these spaces could and should make specific um, offer. They should offer, or it's probably something. It's a good idea to make a specific offer to these new audiences because it probably it will probably became the first time at the museum for a child or for a not so child, for a teenager that grow uh, watching 31 minutes 31 minutos on TV. And it's important to understand or to bring that kind of people, that group of age, that group of people to the museum, and to offer something interesting and something different in order that if, obviously we want to that people, that group of people keep coming to these spaces. So um, we need to make an offer to make an interesting offer, and this is something that it's on point. I think it's working and it's a good idea to make this exhibition right now. And it's probably a good idea not because I say that. It's a good idea because it's sold out. So it works and it's a good idea. I'm not a huge fan of the TV series, of the Chilean TV series, but it's interesting and it's nice to revisit, to watch again. Wow, this is really hot, really warm. Mm, it's interesting. It works. It's clean. Earlier today, I was talking with a friend, with a partner in my office, a coworker, and we are talking precisely about this point. It's something clean and safe for younger audiences. So that's why it's relevant, and it's okay for the audiences to have this kind of um, um, venues or places, this cultural offer, in order to get involved with these dynamics of visiting a museum or watching an exhibition. It's not the typical one. It's not the way that you probably um, had this traditional experience of visiting a museum. But at the same time, it's okay, and it's a different way to have this museum experience. So it's a good idea, I think. And I think um, there are products like this one, like this TV series, that they have this relevance, this level of relevance. They are cultural, uh, cultural, intellectual properties, and obviously it's okay to for for uh, a brand like this to be in a museum, because it's relevant and it worth it, and it's okay because it's trendy and it has some meaning. It's meaningful for a group of people, a huge group of people. This group of people who are viewing tickets, and not only because they are viewing tickets. It's because it's a cultural product, and it's okay to get involved in this way, how the society is shaping the way itself, how it is making, writing their own path in order to find their own ways to shape the way how decide what is relevant, what is cultural, what has a cultural meaning in this society. And 31 Minutos totally had this point, because it's I was talking, actually I was talking with Gina a couple of days ago, and she was saying, she is asking me if I think 31 Minutos it's the Latin American version of Sesame Street, of Plaza Sésamo, and I think it's not. And I said to her that because I think 31 Minutos had a different approach to a different reality. So it's probably wrong, or that's my idea. I hope if Gina is still there, she's okay with me telling this private conversation. Um, it's a different approach to a different reality for a different group of people in a different society in a different moment of time. 31 Minutos, it's quite recent, it's quite modern. So I think it's different, and as the cultural product itself, it's intended to be consumed by a different group of people. So it should have, or it need to have a different group of codes, a different group of information between their own significance, their own material, in the way is it's constructed. So I think it's not the same, but as I said, it's just my idea. Mm, and it's different, and one of the big values that I think 31 Minutos have for us here in Latin America, it's it connects with the basic roots of the Latin culture. And I know, I'm aware of Latino, the Latino culture. It's something weird and hard to explain in USA. As example, it's something that I watched by myself there, very briefly, but I watched that. There's no such thing as Latino culture, because people from Ecuador doesn't work very well, or doesn't match very well with people from other countries. The people from Venezuela doesn't had some issues with the people from Colombia, and the Colombians doesn't feel comfortable around the Mexican people. But at the same time, and most important, living here in our own countries, living in Latin America, I think 31 Minutos had this thing that they understand what is really meaningful for us here inside our countries, and they make these jokes, these clean, basic, safe jokes about something that most of us we can understand, or um, we can learn from that. And they had some issues, some big issues, like there are a language barrier. I think we don't talk in the same way here in Mexico, and these guys from Chile, they talk almost a different set of language. They speak in Chileno, and we speak in Mexicano, and it's something different. But if you overcome that initial barrier, I think it works, and I think it's interesting, and that's why it's a relevant cultural product, and that's why they are filling the museum right now in Mexico City. Because okay, probably I didn't understand that word, probably I didn't understand that joke, that specific part of the joke, but I understand most of them, and it's okay because I got it. I catch. It's funny. I understand most of the part of the joke, so it works, and it's okay, and that's why it's so trendy and it's so popular. So it's really interesting, and as I said, it's not part of my childhood, not the biggest part. uh, i I watched some episodes, um, very very far away from uh, just a really small number of episodes. I'm not so into the TV series, but it's totally clear the cultural relevance of the TV series. Um, so I think it's because of that. Um, it's a risky decision for the museum, I think, because at some point in some areas you probably find some resistance, and probably a part of the audience should think, or probably they will think, okay, that museum, your museum, it's not intended to have that kind of art exhibition. Mm, but at the same time, it's relevant, and it's a good idea to have this reading of the audiences, and as a result of that process, to offer this kind of products that they are mm, interesting and useful and meaningful for that audiences. So again, that's why this is a good idea, and this is working so well right now. I'm not a huge fan of the TV series, but I really enjoy, and I really like how itself the show has this um, second life as small pieces of content in the way of meme, and how these memes are really easy to find in the internet, across the internet. And I'm drawing one of my favorite pieces that live in my cell phone, and sometimes I use it. This uh, this brief basic line of, there's an interviewer, the guy in the right of the frame, this guy in clear navy army shirt, is asking to the second one, what are you doing, what are you doing, my friend? And I think it's really funny, and it probably, I feel this connection with this line, and that's why it's relevant for me. But it's really funny for me how this guy answer in three different parts. um, First of all, I'm not your friend. The second part is, who are you, and why are you asking that, who are you? And the third part, and I think it's probably rude, and it's quite far away from the idea that I tried to explain before earlier. Um, it's not so safe, it's not so clean, probably. Um, it doesn't matter to you. ¿Qué está haciendo, amigo? Primero que nada, no soy su amigo. Segundo, ¿quién es usted? Tercero, ¿qué le importa? It's obviously even funnier in the with the original audio. It's really easy to find in a huge number of clips, and I find this idea really funny because it's something that probably I should answer to someone someday. I need to think in the consequences of that. But yes, probably every one of us, and in the same way that Pixar understands that, the way how the message is read, it's received by different audiences. The kids just understand a part of this message. Obviously, they are not dumb. They understand the joke, but at the same time, we as an adults, we as a people with uh, some kind of issues, with people um, people uh, with problems, we can relate that, oh yes, I feel the same, and I want to show the same to someone someday, or not, probably not, and probably it's just my issue or something. But yes, this part of, uh, who are you and why are you asking me, and I'm not your friend, and it's something, uh, that's something for me, because I don't like to be called friend. I don't like this idea to someone calling me friend, because most of the times, almost 100% of the times, if someone call me friend, it's not my friend, and probably I'm an idealist, but I don't like to use that word in that way. So if you are my friend, there is no need to use that word, and if you are using that word is because you are not. And that joke, it works all abroad Spanish language, and it works, and it's easy to understand, and it's funny for a kid, and it's funny for an adult, as I said, with a different meaning, with a different level of understanding. But for me, it's really funny. It's not the original position of the frame because they are far away. The guy from the right, it's screaming to the guy to the left. So I make some changes in this illustration, that I really like that joke. And there's a video in my cell phone. This clip, it's always on my cell phone, and I send that video very often on an instant messenger or WhatsApp at some persons at some moments. And yes, it's that kind of funny, of basic things that make that TV series so trendy and so popular. And I hope to have the chance, the opportunity to visit Mexico City and to visit the exhibition. Probably, I hope, because it's something. It's big. It's culturally relevant for some people, and that's why they had this place. They had this um, they had this space at the museum right now, and they had this span of time until late August, I think. And even if I'm not so into the TV series, it's totally remarkable the way how it leave a mark in a huge group of people all around America, and good for them. And it's really nice to watch all that people queuing for going inside of the museum, because it's people trying to get into a museum, and that's good news for the museum, for the art, culture, for the art itself. It's a good news, and good for them and good for everyone. So it's really nice to watch this happening. And obviously there are another huge number of art exhibitions there in Mexico City. Also, in every major city, there are a lot of museums with interesting exhibitions. So, make a research, watch, read the social media of your nearest museum, and go there and visit your local exhibition. It probably could be nice and interesting, because there are interesting art exhibitions happening everywhere all around Mexico. And I still had this video in my cell phone, and I enjoy listening again and again and again. And yesterday night, I had this plan to go live. I can't at the very last minute, but I was thinking, okay, probably I can talk and I can draw about this because it's nice and it's refreshing to watch something like this happening at a museum. And the Franz Mayer, they are making a really, really interesting museum offer right now. Something different to the regular kind of exhibitions, and it's something really nice of Mexico City, because they had this huge number of places to visit. And there is also a huge variety of different things to watch. So if you have a chance, visit your local museum. In their own official account, Instagram account, the group 31 Minutos, as a group, as a brand, they post an image of the huge number of counterfeit merchandise that is selling just outside of the museum. And they say something like, if this is a sign of success, we are really successful, because there is a huge sale of counterfeit merchandising outside of the museum. I don't know if they had original authorized merchandise inside of the museum, but yes, truly is a way to find or to measure the success of something here in Latin America, here in Mexico. They are selling counterfeit merchandise because they most sell only stuff that they are being successful. So if there are counterfeit merchandise, it's because people are asking for them, and the sellers make their previous market research. That's why that merchandise it's out there. So it's not the best way, but that's how that works. What are you doing, my friend? First of all, I'm not your friend. second one, who are you? And the third one, that doesn't matter to you. It's not so funny in English. It's intended to be said in Spanish, to work in Spanish. I want to make a draw of architecture. I was thinking, okay, what I'm feeling more comfortable drawing. The last week episode was weird because that idea of making a traditional draw of something AI generated, it was really, really weird and kind of uncomfortable. I don't like it. I don't like it, and probably it won't happen again because it's weird. It's hard to make decisions. In example, okay, this is um, this had a wrong perspective of that of this piece doesn't appear to be correct, precise. What should I do? I make a correction. I leave this part in the original AI generated way, and I don't like the final result of the last week's session. So that's why that won't happen again. But there's a lot of things to draw. I had a couple of images, but I didn't expect this take too much time. Sky. No, that's not the right light shade of blue. I'm pretty close to have enough space to view a new set of markers. Are you leaving, Gina? Are you ready to play tonight? Oh. I miss an arm. There's a lot of blue shades here. Hey, that's it. Uh, Without context, this is a really weird image because, as I said, it's not the correct perspective. I made some make some changes because they are really far away and doesn't fit to my page. I squeezed them together. Um, they have they are no text, any text here, so it's weird. It's weirder because they are puppets, but not traditional fancy regular puppets. They are just socks or pieces of fabric. Um, so if anyone watching this are lost, I should probably send this to the brand as a piece of fan art. Without context, as I said, this is really, really weird and really hard to explain. Trying to explain this to someone who doesn't ever watch the TV series, it will probably be really, really hard. And probably my original idea of this as a clean, safe, familiar ideal for childhood TV show, it's false because it's really rude. This idea of who the fuck are you? But at the same time, it's something good that I don't want to answer to you because I don't know you. As I said, who the fuck are you? I'm not your friend. I had something to do because on Wednesday nights I had something in my schedule. But let me try the second one of my three images for tonight. Just the second one, not the third one. Let's try to do this really quick. And it's July the 3rd. in my Instagram story yesterday, I say that I want to finish this sketchbook because I want to start a new one, and that's not totally true because I already start that one with a different project, but um, I'm really close to ending this sketchbook. So let's try to do something different really quick. Let me switch the image. This one. Obviously, I feel more comfortable doing something like this and talking 40 minutes about a Chilean TV show than making this weird piece of I don't know what AI generated. So this won't happen again, or I need to think about that idea. Mm, Last weekend, I think a week ago, I watched a movie, a really old movie. And I was thinking, okay, probably I can doodle that because it's that kind of movies that you watch at some time in your life and you left that because okay, I already watched that and that's it, and I'm fine. That's it. I watch it. Next, move on. And I truly don't remember a lot of relevant things, details in the story of Eternal Sunshine of a Spotless Mind. So I watched it again last week, last weekend, and I enjoyed it a lot. Probably even more than the first time because, and that's the part that I want to talk about, and I was thinking because probably I'm a different person right now. I'm a different moment in my life right now, and I understand a couple of things that I understand in a different way. A couple of things that I probably understand different earlier the first time or when I watched for the first time. So I really enjoy to watch this movie again. I don't like this shoe. This shoe, I need to redo it. I'm not that in that movement of we don't use erasers. Yes, I use eraser a lot. That's not the point. I understand better the movie right now. I think I don't know. Um, I like it. I like it because it's a piece of art. It's really visual, and it's hard to explain this idea because obviously it's a movie. It's something visual, but how they use a lot of images in order to share some ideas, it's really it's amazing, and it's really it's something really nice to watch, and I enjoyed a lot again. I mean, I understand the core idea of the movie from the first time I got it. I knew what this story is about, but uh, this second time it was different, and it was weird to find when the movie was rolling, to find people in to find characters. Okay, that character is this actor, or is this other person, better know better known right now for a different production, a different character. And it's really old, 20 years old, not so old. And this is not working. This is complicated. I enjoy this movie a lot again, and I was thinking, okay, probably I should watch more old movies again, because probably I had a better understanding of that pieces of cinema right now. I didn't remember a lot of details in the movie from the beginning. I I remember the part of the bookstore when the covers, when the titles, the spines of the books are just disappearing. I remember that, but I didn't remember the exact location of that library. I didn't remember uh, how this loss of some live episodes are happening. And it was a truly interesting experience. And this is not working. So I enjoyed this a lot, and as you can see, I was thinking in a couple of things, like old arts, fancy movies, and puppets. I switched back, something that I said last week. I switched back to local music, local played music, instead of YouTube music that I was working on the last couple of times, because there is so much advertising right now on YouTube. And the last week and this one is the first um, the first music background that I used to add music to these streams. 3 years ago, this last almost 3 years. It's a really long period of time for a single sketchbook. But yes, 3 years trying to do this, not so often, not so regular, but I enjoy this a lot. I like the way how this is going, and I try to keep doing this. I had my next sketchbook right here, and I already work in this one, but it's not for tonight. I don't want to talk about this tonight, but I want to build new markers, and I want to build continue with that sketchbook. This is my first eraser to be molded, molded eraser. I don't know how to say this in English. So I need to draw more. At the same time, and as I said in my Instagram account, life happens. I need to make some time. Actually, right now, immediately after ending this exercise, I had a lot of work to do, because I teach a class this Saturday, and I need to work on my material for that class. That's why this won't have color. Instead of that, just let me find my gray and blue fine Sharpie and try to do something different just with Sharpies. My set of markers. At the beginning, not in this sketchbook, no, not in this one. My first ever finished sketchbook, it's entirely made with this really thin and fine Sharpies. Actually, these Sharpies came as a gift with this sketchbook. On Dia de los Reyes 2020, so plus 4 years. And these Sharpies came as a package with this sketchbook. I barely use them right now because I moved to a different set of markers, also as a gift, most of them. So because the smell is really intense and really nice, so because I don't have so much time, I need to go to work, and at the same time I want to go back to this set of Sharpies. Let's try to do this in this way. On my first time in New York City, I make a research in order to visit the beach of Montauk as appear on the plot. It was really far away and a really long trip just to visit a freezing cold. It was early March. Um, so I quit that idea because I would probably die there visiting Montauk, New York. And later, in different trips to the city, I make my pilgrimage to other movie places, but not Montauk. Montauk is still on my wish list. It wasn't. It wasn't right now, but uh, no, it probably won't happen soon. It will be interesting to visit, an interesting place to visit. The crack on the ice, it's again far away. It doesn't fit with my portrait sketchbook. And that's it. June the 3rd. So remember, I'm not your friend. Uh, who are you? And that doesn't matter to you. 31 minutos in the Franz Mayer Museum at Mexico City until late August of this year. And Eternal Sunshine of a Spotless Mind here in Mexico on Max on streaming. And that's it for tonight. Remember, as always, stay safe, stay healthy. See you soon. Bye bye.